So all of us one day will have to face this crazy dilemma of being here and being at home with God. So now give me 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 1 through 10. 2 Corinthians 5, 1 through 10. Today I just want to let you know what life and dying is like. We've had almost at least 8 funerals in the last 2 weeks. What life and death is like. So Paul, St. Paul, writes to the Corinthian church this. He says, now we know that if this earthly tent we live in is destroyed, this earthly tabernacle, he calls it a tent, a tabernacle. The tent tabernacle was a temporary place of worship. All right? It wasn't the temple. It was a tabernacle. They would pack it up, move it, pack it up, move it. It was temporary. He says that this thing you and I live in is an earthly tent. It's temporary. And we know that when it is destroyed, when it falls apart, anybody know about it falling apart? Yeah, when it falls apart, when everything starts hurting, and when other things start attacking it, and cancers and all these things, when it falls apart, guess what? We have a what? A building from God, which is a what? Eternal house. We went from a tent to a house. We went from a temporary building to an eternal house, eternal in what? In heaven, and not built by human hands. So Paul understands that. That's why he says there's a greater gain for me if I get out of here than it is staying here. But if I'm going to stay here, I'm going to be about God's business. Did you hear me? If I'm going to be here, if I'm going to keep on living, I'm living for God. I'm putting in work for God. So we got that earthly, we got a new house, not built by human hands. Next verse. Meanwhile, we groan in these bodies, longing to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling. And again, you may not be at this point yet, but you will get there one day. You will get there one day. And the younger you are here, the more irrelevant this message may seem to you. But the older you get, the more relevant this message will be to you. One day you will get there.